Alright, we are back, and the party is making their way back to the abode of the jellies. Is there anything that you want to do? It took you about 2 hours to get to this cave, so you can guess that it'll take about 2 hours on the way back.
Have we left yet?
Not yet.
How sturdy is it on the ground that it's on?
It's pretty sturdy. Doesn't look like.
Right.
I mean, it could fall over, but it would
A
probably take a
likelihood.
push from Higgimus.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll leave it.
I mean, you wouldn't really be able to move it much anyway. It would still be heavy for Higgimus, so.
hmm Oh, if light and load was cast on it, would it be more? Obviously, I'll memorize that because when we're hauling it up to the ship, it'll make it easier.
Depends on if light and load can affect its size. I'm not sure if it
I
can.
shall check.
All right. Well, I mean, you can wait until a couple days hence when you get back to your ship and are coming back for it.
10-foot cube. No, it's slightly outside if it's 12 foot.
Yeah.
Oh. Could Leva shrink the statue?
Again, if she can affect its size.
Leva?
We can address that when we get to it.
Yeah, I know.
We can talk. I mean, and it's not going to be before like next session anyway, so you can talk about it in between sessions. How's that?
Okay.
Keep in mind that it is 12 feet tall, as it's kind of sitting upright. Yes.
Actually, I will look out for what would be what's the word I'm looking for? Places that I'll recognize when we fly to catch it by
landmarks.
when we fly by.
Okay.
Landmarks. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Then should we set something up that's quite visible?
How about a mountain with a hole in the side?
Well,
there's a lot of those.
the thing is that this is an outcropping from the mountain range that rings the world.
Oh, Solas.
Might take you a couple hours to find it, but you don't think you'd have any real trouble finding it again. It would just take time.
Or just keep flying around the edge, you mean?
Kind of
Could
thing,
he
yeah.
make like an impromptu map? Because he's got map making, hasn't he, or something?
I do have cartography.
Could he work something together to reduce the time?
Not while moving, but when you get back to the abode of the jellies, then maybe he could do something.
So, Higgimus, if you turn that thing back from stone into a creature, do you think it'll tell us who killed the cow?
I don't think so, Braxon. I don't think so.
Okay.
So when we do go back to the jellies and talk to them, make sure to say that we're taking it with us.
The
Along with
statue.
any equipment. Yes.
Make sure they know that it's a statue now.
And it's ours. It's ours now.
Hey, old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Leva, you might want to ask this actually rather than me, because that's a question you brought to me. Well, I guess she would be asking you this rather than me. How does reduce work if it's cast on someone using magical equipment? Because it doesn't affect magical items.
No, this was not reduced.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was. What spells?
No, this is item. It's
Oh.
reduced doesn't last long enough.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have
But,
to last long enough.
Item is fine, but they
How?
can't use.
It's all up
Pretty
to
sure
like its volume and stuff like that. So,
Out of curiosity, what would happen if it was reduced? Then I cast let know because technically it would be within the size limit. And then if one of it resized itself afterwards,
I
would
mean,
the
if
light
you
and load be
reduce it,
dispelled?
it's going to be lighter as well.
Yeah. No, well, my point is, would my spell get cancelled when it returns to its normal size because it's no longer within the confines of the spell?
Yes.
Alright. So it would double up.
Well, I mean, if you reduce it to 10% of its size, it's also 10% of its weight.
But would the magical sword? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Again, maybe focus on that when we get to it.
Sorry, I was...
It's okay. It's just like by the time we come back to this in multiple sessions,
Multiple?
I know you guys.
Give way. Hang on, I have shaved off a session by turning it to stone.
Yeah,
you
but you
shaved
have all
off
of-
maybe. I mean, a combat that would have been very dangerous, but you guys, I still think, would have easily prevailed in the end.
If only I'd made my intelligence check, and I could have given some wildly interesting, insane answers.
Also, by Lafdul, Sakat, by doing what you have done after the combat, you have almost taken up the time.
Wow.
The only time he could take up more time is if he went looking for a holy symbol.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's too big. Otherwise, I would claim it as a holy symbol.
So again, if there's ideas that you have for moving this, present them to me during the week. If you have specific questions, we'll do it that because you're not getting back to this by the end of this session. I can guarantee you that already.
So Braxon wants to have a look at the trees on the way back.
All right.
Do they get bigger or smaller as we go away from the mountain range? Because you said the ones right near that mountain were too small to climb on.
Well,
but the beavers are working on quite big ones, so they must have some big ones.
Right. So you weren't anywhere close to water at this point.
Ooh.
The ground was kind of rocky in most places. It just doesn't look like and you did end up going uphill a bit, so it was a bit higher altitude.
Right.
So it just wasn't a place as suited to the bigger trees that you find closer to the rivers in the center of the planet.
Right.
All right. So yeah.
Have I got a good mental image of what this thing looks like?
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering for locate object. That was all.
Yeah.
All right, we carry on.
So it takes you about 2 hours to get back. And no one had any other things that they wanted to do on the trip back?
Sinrae was going to sing a jaunty marching song.
Okay.
Lafdul's a hero. Lafdul claims dibs on hero. Hero of the song.
It's a marching song. There's no hero in the song.
Then Lafdul walks slower.
Unfortunately, Lafdul is left behind, and he loses his way, and he gets eaten by Woolly Rupert.
Oh, no, that's terrible. Does he... No.
At least he wasn't eaten by a grue.
Woolly Rupert is more dangerous. So, given that the time you spend, it's still early afternoon by the time you return to the jellies, because you did spend quite a few hours in the morning, and at least an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, gathering up all the objects in at the Sphinx's cave. But it is early afternoon. You make your way back up the pathway to the overhang with the hole in it, and you come to the mural at the back wall, and a voice comes down from the hole above you, and asks, "Done as asked, you have?"
We have.
You go ahead.
Sorry. We have, in fact. We have turned the Sphinx to stone. It will no longer bother you.
We do claim it, and we will take it away.
Agree help we do. Prepare must we do. Sleep night must. You into fortress allowed sleep if you wish.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Very kind of you.
Suppose, yeah.
Unfortunately, there are no obvious ways to get up there. There are no real handholds on the walls.
Can I just place some pitons on the wall or something? I think I've got like 10.
Is there anywhere for Braxon to attach his rope?
Not that you see. There really aren't any breaks in the wall to put any pitons.
Can I?
Sinrae's going to call up and ask, is there any way for non-jellies to enter?
The voice comes back. Find way must you do. Float we do.
Yes, you do float.
So how
Can
high
I
is it
lift
all?
people up there?
It's maybe 15 feet.
You can just get a rope up there and then.
Yeah, come on, Braxon, get his rope up there.
Actually,
You
don't
can't
have
see into the
button?
thing. It's dark, so you can't see anything for it to attach
Try
to.
that iron stone.
Well, some of us that can climb up and attach the rope.
Guys, Braxon, can you use your ladder thing? Just tell them that you're going to be putting your ladder up there.
Oh yeah, that's an idea.
How high? Oh yeah, it should reach out, shouldn't it? Easily.
Oh, true.
We're going to be sending our ladder up there. One moment, and please stand back so you don't get bumped.
Okay, so you activate the rod to turn into a ladder form and get it up into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That makes it very easy for all of you to climb up. It takes a few moments for your eyes to adjust to the light. Well, for the non-elves, the rest of you can see with infravision. There is faint light, you realize, from more of these luminescent murals that you saw down below. Yes, Lafdul?
I ask, are you sensitive to the light?
Well, how about I describe what you're seeing first?
Oh, I was asking Jenny so.
Well, I understand that, but you haven't even seen them yet, because I haven't described them yet. You are in a fairly large chamber, you realize. Perhaps a gathering hall of some sort. The walls are curved and smoothish, except for the murals, which do appear to have some raised... it's kind of like a mixture between mural and frieze. And you see quite a number of small creatures, about they're disc-shaped, about 2 feet in diameter, bobbing here and there all around you. They have small orifices along their edges, tentacles dangling down below them, and each one has a pair of eye stalks protruding from the top.
Yay!
Looking at you intently. They're...
I'm sure Braxon doesn't know what they are, though.
No, most definitely he does not. They appear to, like, drift down and then lurch up into the air, and then drift down and then lurch up in a constant cycle, all of them. So it kind of creates this, like, undulating mass before you. You would say there's at least 20 of them. Some of them are white, and some of them are a pale yellow. You also notice that sometimes when they go back up, you can get a decent enough view of their underside that they appear to have some spikes or teeth jutting down from the center on the underside. So that's what you take in just a second. Was there... Lafdul, you had a question?
You say it's dark in here.
It's dimly lit. Now that you're up here, the murals and friezes are they seem to be painted with some sort of luminescent paint. So it's enough for you to, like, make out the edges and everything like that, but it's very, very dim. So it's not like you'd risk falling over, tripping on something, or bumping into things.
I was gonna ask if we brought a light source out to the open, because some of our friends might struggle. Would that hurt you, or offend you, or damage something?
One of the yellow ones at the front, a sound emanates from it, the voice, and it says, and again, every time that it speaks, it's kind of accompanied by a secondary whistling effect. And it says, "Light hurt us not. Light, if needed, you can do."
Hmm. Higgimus can go out if he wants to, I guess.
Well, all
Or
says
Braxon.
dimly lit, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, unless there's like a really subtle change in the floor, you wouldn't be too likely to trip over
Are
something.
you saying there's perfect opportunities for Lafdul to make Higgimus trip up? Yes, oh, well, you should have had the light on.
Sinrae is going to ask what they call themselves.
You get a sound back that you don't believe you'd be able to reproduce. It's a mixture of whistling and burbling and other air-related sounds. You
What
also
do
see
other-
its tentacles wiggle quite a lot beneath it. And then it says, translation language not, word exists not in tongue of yours.
Fair enough.
What would you like us to call you then? In an ability that we can speak.
Us call what you will. Then it fixes its eyes on you, Sinrae, since you've been doing the most speaking. And one of its tentacles lifts up and points to one of the white ones. You see that there are tunnels leading off of this chamber. There are two large ones and a couple smaller ones. Everything that you're seeing so far is very rounded in shape as well. Not a lot of hard edges.
Makes sense.
But he points to one of the white floating disc creatures, and it appears to be holding some sort of pole tipped with something. It's a little bit dark, but and he's kind of standing at the far end of the chamber. But the yellow creature says to you, "Lead one shall to repose of place. Sun come and help we shall."
Thank you. We appreciate your hospitality.
All right.
Let's
Let's
follow
it.
the white disc.
Okay. As you approach, it kind of rotates in the air and starts floating down up one of the large passageways, and you do realize that it's sloping upward. And as you've closed in, you can see that the pole does appear to be a small spear of some sort. It doesn't look like it would really hurt you very much.
Something you would skewer something to spit over a spit roast?
Well, I mean, keep in mind that these small creatures are only 2 feet in diameter, the discs.
Oh.
It might hurt something that's of the jellies type.
Yeah.
All right.
And so you follow the creature. All of the walls appear to be lined with more murals. They are like the ones leading up to the overhang. Lots of non-geometric designs, various shapes and objects that you kind of half recognize that seem like they're oddly stretched or squished in various ways. And now that you're seeing these creatures, you'd kind of guess that they're more designed to be looked at by their mobile eye stalks than your fixed eyes.
Right. Is there anything that looks like a ship?
Nothing that you recognize as a ship, no.
Mules are really fascinating.
They are really fascinating, but they also give you a headache.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Why do all these magical wards always give you a headache? I'm saying that in general to any of us, not to only one person.
I don't think they're magical. I think it's just the perspective is not meant for our eyes.
Hmm.
Or maybe your brains, too.
Hmm.
So as you're going along this hallway, there are also periodic lights hanging from the ceiling, and they're very dim, but they seem to have considerable range. Like, they're able to spread their dimness out to quite a distance, which is very unusual.
Will this be useful inside a ship, maybe?
Maybe, but you would definitely be more comfortable with brighter lights.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's still dark. You pass by a few, branching pathways here and there, and occasionally you'll pass by other floating creatures as they travel up and down this corridor. You kind of realize that this is probably a main thoroughfare for these creatures.
Braxon's going to try and remember the route back to the exit, just in case the place gets attacked while we're here.
Okay.
Hey, Ald.
Mhm.
How difficult would it be to fight in light that light makes?
There would be a penalty to fighting with it, but a minor penalty.
Minor penalty.
Yeah. It's just
Isn't
dim
it
light.
like...
You do kind of see the some scenes along the walls. There's natural scenes of what you think are probably trees, mountains, that sort of thing, and some of the floating creatures, and occasionally there will be a scene of a large, bright chamber. With the floating disc creatures, specifically yellow ones. In some of the naturalistic scenes, you see white and yellow ones, but in these scenes, you only see yellow ones. And they're extending their tentacles up to a bright light above them, and the light seems to have tendrils extending down from them as well. And as you're passing by and looking at them, you'd swear that those are moving. Like, when you look at them and like actually stare at one of them, they don't move. But then you turn your head and out of the corner of your eye, you swear that they moved.
Right.
You're not sure if they're really moving or if it's just a trick of the perspective, but those especially give you a headache.
Braxon says to... Sorry, go on.
Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Okay, Braxon says to one of the jellies, are these pictures your history?
The white one leading you, there's only one white one leading you.
Yeah.
It swivels an eye stalk back at you, and you see its tentacles wiggling, and sounds come from its the orifices along its edge, but it doesn't speak.
Oh. The
Braxon
white
says,
one's not talking.
Braxon says, it's very clever.
You had a question, Higgimus?
I was going to ask something of it too, but it appears that the white one doesn't have, or isn't able to speak our language.
Or maybe it just doesn't speak very well to Braxon. You might as well give it a go.
Well, the other one might have tongues or something like that. Some sort of magical talking.
That's
because
true.
It did make other noises in addition, so...
All right, so you're not going to ask it?
I guess I will. I'll say, well, Braxton said, is it your history? I'll say, is this some sort of, no, the history's good, too. I don't know if you can understand us, but, I would like to ask about those lights that you have above. If you can relay that question to somebody that can speak our tongue. If you can't.
It swivels an eye stalk to you, and you hear more sounds coming from the orifices along the edge, and its tentacles wiggle, but no words that you hear come from it.
Yeah.
As you're ascending this corridor, it starts to get smaller and smaller as you're going up. It eventually comes to a point where, Higgimus, you have to get down and crawl.
Okay.
Luckily, these things do not appear very fast. He's not like leading you at a breakneck pace. And Ockar is clearly like hunched over, and many of the rest of you have to duck your head in order to not brush the ceiling and the lights.
Hope these don't get too much smaller.
Oh, the lights are hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, just a little bit though.
Can we get a good look at them now they're lower?
Yep. You don't know what they're made of. That might be glass. It's a kind of a... Whatever they are, it's kind of like a milky yellow-orange glow. Like it might be kind of like frosted glass or something like that, but you can't recognize immediately what they're made of.
Leva, are those magical lights?
Could I figure that out?
Do you have detect magic?
Nope, not memorized.
Give me a spellcraft check. Nope.
No idea.
It does not look like a light or a continual light spell. So it is not in your realm of experience at all. Which is not to say that they're not magical, but you also can't rule out that there's some form of just non-magical luminescence or something like that.
Braxon's wondering if it's a glass jar full up with something that glows, and he's going to gently tap one when he thinks nothing's looking.
It makes a very dull sound, not like tapping on glass, and it sways back and forth. The jelly leading you stops and turns both of its eye stalks at you and makes some animated, wiggling with its tentacles and sounds coming out of its orifices.
Braxon says, "Sorry, ceiling's a bit low for us."
And then it turns and continues to lead you on. Finally, you are led into a side passage that after just maybe 15, 20 feet opens up into an oblong room with a much higher ceiling. And you're all able to stand up, although Higgimus, the ceiling is pretty close to your head. Maybe like 6 inches above in the center kind of thing.
Gotcha.
There are kind of shelf areas along the edges, and they seem to be filled with soft padding of some sort. It looks like cloth, and if you touch it, it'll feel like cloth, but not a cloth that you're familiar with.
That must be beds.
Unfortunately, Higgimus would not be able to sleep on them. They'd be narrow for most of the rest of the party, but you could sleep on them. But there are some on the floor as well that Higgimus could sleep on. You don't notice any other furniture that you recognize, though.
Sleeping in a bed, no matter what its form, sounds very nice.
Well, I'll turn towards the thing and say thank you.
Yes, thank you.
It is standing near the doorway. Like it just moved to the side and let you file into the room. And one of its tentacles slips into a small hole near the doorway. And there's some loud clacking from up on the ceiling, and some odd windows or partitions open up and let the late afternoon sun filter in.
That's neat.
These things are amazing. What do you think they'd be like as ship's crew?
I don't know.
No idea.
I thought Lafdul was bad keeping a statue.
After that, it wiggles its tentacles at you, and some more sounds come out of its orifices, and it floats out the doorway.
Wonder if they came here from wild space. I mean, they kind of look like the planet, don't they? They're kind of flat and round, and the planet is flat and round.
On the other hand, the planet definitely has a coin look to it, with raised edges, and these are more. They're definitely thicker in the middle and thinner on the outside. So there's definitely some differences there, but they are flat and round like the planet. Otherwise,
They remind me of jellyfish.
They probably come from someplace much dimmer.
They come from jellyfish space.
All right. Well,
Sinrae
I
just
guess,
looks at Braxon with his most unimpressed face.
I guess let's make ourselves comfortable as best we can.
okay.
Are we allowed to wander? No.
You'd have to go out and see.
Yeah, they didn't
You're in a
say.
room with a tunnel leading into it.
We weren't blocked off.
Yeah,
Try
real
not
bad.
to.
Try not to what? Hey, what's going on, Higgimus?
Try not to break
I mean-
anything.
Yeah, don't break
Antagonize
anything,
them.
or antagonize. If you do.
Wow, you think so highly of me.
I think very highly of you, Lafdul, which is why I'm saying don't antagonize them. I think very highly of your skills.
Oh, I just might have to entertain myself with the party instead. You know, a mischief maker gets bored.
Go explore.
Braxon says, I think very highly of Lafdul, except when I'm sitting down, and then I think lowly of him. If
Can
I'm
we
lying down, I
trade
think very
Brax-
lowly of him.
Can we trade Braxon for one of them, I think? What do you think, Higgimus? They probably do less bad jokes.
Higgimus is just going to sigh, and his ear tufts are going to twitch a little bit, and then he's going to start trying to get the sleeping pad things put together on the floor spot for himself.
Yeah, they are movable.
Sinrae is going to tune her mandolin because she probably hasn't gotten a chance to tune it in a few days.
Solas will write notes of this place, and after that he will start again reading the treasured book of Dwarven brewing.
Okay.
Now,
Lafdul, were you going to try to leave and explore?
he's just gonna look at some. He's just gonna look around at the murals and stuff.
So you're leaving and
Yes.
exploring.
A little, not too far.
Okay. You head down the hallway, and you get to where you turned into this room, and one of the white floating jelly creatures is there. Whether it's the same one that led you up here or not, you're not sure. You honestly cannot distinguish between them.
Is it undulating at me?
As you come to the entrance, it floats over towards you and kind of lightly bumps into you, and it's holding the small pole or spear horizontal to the floor and kind of like nudging at you. It's both of its eye stalks are fixed right at your face.
Yeah. And Lafdul wanders back, I guess.
Back into the room.
Yeah, he's gonna walk a bit back. I assume it's not like following me. He's just blocking me off, so to speak.
Yeah, as soon as you head back into the corridor, into the chamber, it seems to float back to what you would kind of guess is a guard position.
Braxton's going to check out the windows that opened up in the ceiling.
Yeah, that was gonna be like right next.
Okay. So Braxon,
says-
you kind of have to climb up
Yeah.
on some of these shelf positions to
Oh,
look out.
I thought it was quite low.
You got a ladder.
It is, but to like really look out at them, the room
He's
is
going to ask
pretty
Higgimus
broad.
to give him a boost.
Well, no, you don't need that. You can just you're just like standing on them to look over the
Okay.
edges and stuff like that. Because
Okay.
they're more like skylights than windows. But they
Yeah,
are sloped.
Braxton's wondering if it's glass steel or anything like that.
There does not appear to be anything blocking entrance or exit. They're just
It's just
open.
a hole.
Yeah, and you get a good mountain breeze blowing in.
Is it big enough to actually get out?
You think you could? Yes.
Very interesting.
Do you want to pop your head up through it?
Braxton will toss a coin up there and see if there's any magic that zaps it.
The coin flips up through the air and then comes down, and you grab it again. Doesn't seem to be stopped by anything.
Yeah, stick its head up there.
Okay.
Your
So
head gets chopped off. Roll up a new PC.
you stick your head out and look around. You think you can see some depressions of other things that this might be, as well as stony spires all around you that might be other towers. You kind of realize that you're in a tower-like structure as well.
So
These
it's like a jelly city.
or a fortress or something like that. Yeah. It's certainly hard to say how many are here, but you would guess that from what you've seen and the size and everything like that, there's, unless it's very underpopulated, you'd guess that this place at least could hold a few hundred of these creatures.
Braxton gets down and tells the others what he's seen. This place is amazing.
You more.
It's pretty cool.
Seems like one could get lost in around here.
I think I memorised the way in.
It was pretty twisty and turny, though.
Yeah, but Braxton only needs to remember if we went left or right at each junction. Or if there was crossroads. Maybe he didn't remember,
Yeah.
but he thinks he remembers.
I don't know if he thinks he remembers. Okay, fair enough. All right.
Because he was trying to remember.
Gotcha. All right.
Unless you want me to roll a number to know whether I remembered.
Oh, no. It would be a case of roll to see if you make the correct choices. If
For
you were-
each junction.
Oh, yes. So you go ahead and does anyone want to do anything, or are you just gonna like have a meal, wait till
Is it
evening?
Is it just like what's in this room? Sorry, just like furniture and stuff.
There is no furniture that you can tell. It's just like
Oh.
these shelf positions with odd cushioned cloth.
Cushioned cloth.
Well, it's hard to say what it is. It doesn't look like a normal cushion to you. It feels different.
Does it peel off? Is it fray? Is it like got
No.
woolen?
No, it's pretty
It's-
smooth all along the edges. You can't tell. You don't see any stitching or anything like that.
I wonder if it was magically altered. Probably a good educated guess, anyway. It seemed to be good with stone.
Jelly's invented foam.
Well, it feels kind of like leather, like soft, supple leather, but with padding inside or cushioning inside, but not the kind of cushioning that could, shift around and cause it to get lumpier, one side to be full of all the filling.
Oh,
Well,
Jim.
I do hope these are cushions for these creatures and not something like coffins. I wouldn't want to sleep on loads and wake up and find they're annoyed.
You really think that they would have us sleep on their dead kind?
But they might not think we're going to sleep on them.
They let us.
We could be in a crypt.
They led us to here as a place to sleep. I think they expect us to sleep on these things.
Yeah.
It's what we don't
All
know
right.
is really this is like an oven or something we slowly roast during the night.
Now, each of these is about like 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet, so they're roughly square in shape. That's there aren't any long ones or smaller ones.
You know, I've got a thought. That guy we talked to, well, I say guy, don't know. That jelly we spoke to on the way in, he kind of spoke backwards. Do you think he'd understand those riddles?
Those riddles weren't meant to be answered. That type of insane sphinxes ask insane questions, and if you answer insane enough, you win. Sinrae's just like, you win supposedly the Spelljammer location, which, depending on your point of view, is a prize or not, considering some of the supposed qualities of the Spelljammer.
So it is late afternoon. You guys just gonna converse and stuff like that, discuss things.
We might be going up against more of those wolf bug things again, so be prepared for that, people. And then hopefully after we're done with that, we should be good to go.
Okay.
Eventually, we'll get your gun, Higgimus.
Yeah, well, remember, a lot of this right now is not just that; it's progressed beyond that. We're trying to get the stuff to help the dwarves out. It's another relic for, well, in this case, dwarves, but it's another relic that we're finding for people.
All right, so you bed down for the night and go to sleep.
How many? Does anyone know how many days we've been here? Take us now.
4 or 5,
Yeah.
I think, at this point. I'd have to go back and take a look.
I haven't been ticking off my daily rations, so I'm ticking them off now. I'm taking like 5 off.
Okay.
I assume the water is being replenished by Higgimus or something with some ring.
I mean, you've also been near clean rivers for the
Clean.
most part. Yeah, clean.
That's not with quotation marks.
No. It's fresh water. It's as clean as an unpolluted real-world stream. Yes, yes. Fish do live in them. So,
Don't
you
drink
know,
from the water. Fish do
Fish.
things in there.
more...
Fish pee in it all day long.
Exactly. All right, so anything that you want to do for the evening or night, or are you just ready to rest and get your spells back?
Higgimus is going to rest.
Okay.
Sinrae said that she's restringing her. She's tuning and, if need be, restringing her mandolin and playing some.
Okay. So you get some nice musical accompaniment for your evening, and morning comes. Given you had plenty of time, spellcasters could get up pretty early to get their spells memorized. Also, you didn't use too many.
Yeah.
But if you want to make some specific changes, you can do so as well.
Strength on Braxon.
All right.
Solas, I will ask at some point that you set aside a spell for the shape stone stuff.
Yeah, when we go back to the creature, I think today we are going to the cave with the portal.
Okay.
All right,
So-
Braxon, 1820.
18, 20.
Yep.
No, that's fine. It's up for another day when we're traveling, I'll mention it to you.
Okay.
Sinrae is going to cast armor.
All right. So after a bit in the morning, you've had time to eat, get your spells back, and one of the whitish jelly creatures carrying a small spear floats in, and near the doorway, two of its tentacles kind of do a pointing, jerking motion towards the doorway, and it turns and starts slowly floating out.
Okay.
I guess that's our we should follow.
I'll start heading out then.
Okay.
Crawling my way out.
All right. You follow it downward along the sloping, curving pathway. Braxon, you definitely realize that either you're going down a different route or you did not remember it correctly last time.
Okay.
Because you'll be like coming up to a turn, you'll be like, all right, we're gonna turn right, and then you're led left. You're like,
Yeah.
But eventually you find your way back down into the main room, and you definitely do enter the same way that you came in. And you can see dozens of these creatures bobbing up and down in the room, and some of them are floating down through the hole and then leaving. But as you enter, one of the yellow ones approaches you, floats over to you, and it's holding some sort of a piece of wood, maybe a small staff or a wand or something like that. And it speaks to you. It says, "Ready magic to do. Location known needed. Must mind get. Slight pain maybe. Volunteer?" And as it says that, it raises two of its tentacles in front of you, in front of it, but does not approach anyone.
What did it say again?
Braxon steps forward and says, "So what, you want to put that on my head and take stuff up my head?"
He's got nothing worthwhile in said Lafdul remark. Oh wait, that means I just volunteered. No.
Well,
No,
Braxon
Braxon might be
stepped
volunteering.
forward, so
Yeah.
it floats towards you and says, "Volunteer?"
Do you mean you want to use that to take something out my head?
Indeed so.
Yes, I volunteer.
All right.
Don't you normally do that, Solas? Less painful.
Well, Braxon was pretty quick to volunteer, so
Yeah, no, I was
maybe
just remarking. I'm not objecting.
Solas may just not have had an opportunity to do so. So it floats towards you, and it touches the two tentacles to your forehead there, Braxon. It makes some odd sounds, whistling sounds out of its edges, and its other tentacles wiggle beneath it. And as it's touching you, there's a tingling sensation and a bit of a burning sensation for a moment. And then it releases you. You take 2 points of damage.
Ouch.
And there are kind of angry red marks left on your forehead.
I cast 2 Horizon Healings on Braxon.
Okay. As you're starting to do that, it speaks to you, Braxon, and says, "Pain sorry, location gained. Heal soon should. Cave meet Sun Sky Center. Portal close we do. Acceptable?"
Yes.
Yeah, that should be acceptable.
There are still creatures that might be there.
Meet there. You slay foes. Acceptable?
Yes.
I have a question.
Can we get to there during the time they give us?
You kind of think that they meant tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, Higgimus.
I'll ask it. Those lights, is that something you could teach one of our spellcasters?
You're pointing to like up the hall and at one of the things, or trying to?
Yes.
Trying to. Okay.
Mhm.
It seems to wiggle around, do kind of a half turn, and says, "Unlikely so. Magic hours it is."
Okay. All right. Shall we be about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So you make
So
your way
Braxon will
out.
make-
Yeah, go
Braxon
ahead.
will make the ladder.
Alright.
Rather than making his way out of the hole and falling down.
Okay.
And he'll let them know he's going to make the ladder. He'll say to one of the yellow ones to let the white ones know, as he's not sure they can understand us.
All right. They kind of stop the process of leaving and allow you to create the ladder and all descend down and head down the pathway. All right.
Braxon thanks them and takes the ladder down.
You make your way down the ramp and back into the forest, and it takes you a number of hours to walk back to the river where the beavers, where you left the beavers, and they aren't immediately there, but you do spot one swimming through the water who comes over. And seeing you says, "Oh, you're the ones who are helping us take care of the creature problem. Wait here. I'll get a raft to take you back to the lodge."
Okay.
And he swims pretty rapidly downriver. After about an hour, some beavers on a raft pull their way up to you. Pull it up on shore, and one of them speaks. "Caston will be very interested to find out what you've learned from the jellies. Come, we'll take you to him."
Okay.
So it takes about 2 hours of traveling by the rivers to get back to the lodge, where Caston greets you and quickly asks you to relate what you've learned.
Can I recite what the jellies had us do? We had to go take care of a creature that was eating them or hurting them, killing them,
Being
and
annoying.
being annoying. So we handled that creature, or Lafdul did it.
Higgimus, real fast, give me an intelligence check.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, I'm doing launch.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Oh, wow.
As you're relating this, you immediately kind of something clicks in your head, and you realize this creature came out and started asking you riddles. A lot of those small jelly things, as far as you could tell, could not speak, at least not a language that you understood. That might have angered something that is a riddler.
Yeah,
Oh,
do it.
it could have
It had
answered.
So
a
know,
form of insanity.
not being able to answer pissed it off. It killed them, and it was in the area. So that kind of connects some dots in your mind right there.
Listen.
And you relate everything. Caston nods along, very interested, and says, "I've never actually met them before. They are, as we've been told by those who have met them, not easy to converse with. They speak very strangely, even more strangely than
Yeah.
your tongue compared to ours."
Well, it was
Braxton
definitely
says-
hard to understand.
Sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
No, you go first. You let me
I
go
just
first
said,
last
yeah,
time.
Braxton's Yeah, they're kind of hard to converse with. Some of them don't converse at all in our language.
Well, Braxon knows a few languages, and he just says like a sentence in a few languages to say, well, it's a lot of people speak in different orders, like Paul say this and Tinker Gnome say this. But those creatures talk in a very different order.
Their syntax is different, yes.
Yeah, they were talking in common, but they were talking as if they were speaking in another language and translating literally to common.
Well, the good news is that what time did they say to meet them by? Old?
Noon, basically.
By noon, yeah.
Sun center sky.
Yeah. So tomorrow, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So noon tomorrow at the cave, and they believe they should be able to shut down the portal.
Yeah. But we may need to kill more of those beetles. I don't know what we're going to have to do to clear the land, because there's a lot of bushes for those things to hide in.
Well, I think as long as we get the source of them taken care of, I think we'll be good.
Oh yeah. But I'm just thinking if we don't get them, I mean, there's this triangle of land that the beavers have managed to seal off. I don't know that the beavers could flood the entire area to flush away any creatures. How big an area is that? That's
well, Caston says to you, well, if we can prevent more of them from coming, then so long as they aren't breeding, I think we'll be fine. We'll eliminate them as we can, and I assume that they have relatively short lifespans, being what they are.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I mean, we got some bodies.
We
I don't know
haven't,
if you've got any
seen any
philosophers.
signs of them breeding on this side of the portal.
True.
So most likely it would be fine if we close the portal.
All right. So what time is it now?
Afternoonish.
All right. So I guess we should rest up and then make sure we're ready and prepared for tomorrow. And Caston, can you make sure that we get back in time for us to be able to get up there by noon?
Yep, we'll do so.
Thank you very much.
Okay, he leaves you to rest.
We're going to be up like super early anyway. Because we'd probably be sleeping early or something.
Well, I mean, spellcasters didn't use any spells,
Yeah.
so you don't really need to do anything
Well,
unless you want to change something.
One or two.
I've used 2 spells, and that's for my temporary healing push.
Okay, well,
40
That's
minutes.
Yeah, but those 2 spells don't take that much time.
Yeah, it's almost an hour, you know.
Yeah, but if we can start resting early, we can also wake up early.
all right. So you are roused the next morning and begin to make your way back. The beavers take you on the raft and get you as close as possible. And you've kind of like planned it so that you'll get there before noon, because the creatures
Good point.
clearly indicated to you that they wanted you to take care of the things there first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make our way back to that cave.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have to keep a lookout for parties, and if they come in, we'll have to try and bait them to someone that can take a lot of hits.
I suggest the same pattern formation we had last time, where the fires are a little ways away from each person, kind of like a triangle formation.
Yeah.
The rest of the casters.
Sorry, I'm just checking the spell because I think the spell description is wrong on this one.
What, sticks
As
to
long
snakes?
as I-
Yeah,
Alright, well,
I was
As long as I don't get eaten again.
Yeah, it's saying on here. I swear I remember it being like several sticks, but I'm looking on Prep One for the minute, and
yeah,
I think
so
that's
real
Internal Magic.
fast, I could be wrong, I could be misremembering, but I believe it says that it can turn anything up to a staff size into a snake.
Yeah,
Meaning
so
6
they
feet.
all have the same.
I don't think they have to all be the same at the same time.
Well, no, it can be variations, but they all have the same stats. The
But
flat
it says a
stats.
typical snake,
Oh.
meaning that it can vary.
Alright.
And my point is,
Because
mainly it's
it's
going to be the
different.
hit points and the hit dice. I'd be varying. Not so much the damage, just because I don't want to mess around with that so much. But a
No, it's fine.
6-foot snake would have a lot more hit points than a 1-foot snake, which is what you could put in your pouch.
The description that I had was not telling me that. That's why I was having problems.
It is a dungeon master interpretation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, part of it is that, I mean, there's a wide range in what you can do with it, which gives you a lot of flexibility in what you can affect. But to be the most effective, this isn't a recommendation. I'm just saying that like, to be the most effective, you would want to carry a bundle of actual staves, because those would be the most dangerous, biggest hit points, most hit points, that kind of thing.
Before we go in, can I just chop that? I say I want to get some sticks.
Yeah, on the
Big
way in, yeah,
sticks.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Along the way. I mean, 3 foot. You could definitely get a bundle of 3-foot sticks, and those would be what I would consider the typical ones.
Mhm.
1-foot ones would be smaller and stuff like that. So, but yeah, you can easily gather some sticks along the way.
Yeah, I want to try this new spell. So.
All right. Along the way, you do encounter a few of the smaller ones in groups. The smallest ones, they're easy enough to dispatch when they come at you without any real effort. But there are definitely some more out here. By the way, Leva, I should also mention that your robe has, by this point, regenerated all of its stars.
Ooh, nice.
I would have made another temporary healing potion for myself. That means
Okay.
we got 7 now. And that would have changed. But...
Let me see if I have this set up. Okay. And you do get back to the location of the cave.
Right. Are we going to try and... I'm assuming that some are built up inside the cave. Are we going to try and cut that in half again?
I don't know. What do you guys want to do? You're approaching the cave. You've got a little bit of time to discuss an approach.
So I'm just adjusting some so I can't talk.
And the cave was shaped in such a way we couldn't send a fireball down through it, could we?
No, not easily.
Right.
And we've taken out everything that was useful.
You could do that safeguard lever, couldn't you? If you've memorized it.
I mean, if you get into the mouth of the cave, it would be a lot easier. You'd have but there's a kind of a dog leg right at the mouth.
Alright.
So if you wanted to like rush in and have one warrior block the them from getting to Leva, and she's like right inside the cave mouth, and then she casts fireball, or Solas uses the wand that creates a fireball. Yeah, I mean, you could probably get that pretty far in there.
Alright.
I'm up for that if someone wants to try it.
Yeah, I'll do it because I got the ring.
Just in case.
Fire resist.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll hand off. I don't want my stuff to catch on fire. I'll hand off my magical gear besides like my armor and that sort.
Okay.
He's put it
Somebody
aside.
else. So in
What is
case
going
I
on?
do fail the resisting, my gear won't burn up. And I won't lose it.
Were you telling me that someone was planning on being a fireball target?
Sure.
Because I would have probably have taken resist fire.
Well, it's
No,
not
this-
necessarily a fireball target. It's more
Holding
he,
it off.
he you won't know exactly what the area of effect will be of casting that fireball, given the
No, I
shape
was
of the
just
cave.
thinking I would have.
It's more of a just in case it does blow back and becomes larger than expected.
Leva will cast safeguarding
Okay.
and keep the people in her aura. Well, they should keep in her aura.
Well, anyone outside of the cave is probably going to be fine. So if it's Higgimus and Leva going right in there into the cave mouth, then everyone else can stay just outside, and they almost certainly would be fine.
Mm.
Well, Braxon could come with, and if I cast safeguarding, he'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's up to you.
All right.
Mhm.
That
Right,
way, if they mob Higgimus and knock him over, Braxon can start walloping them.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. Sounds like a deal. Let's do it.
All right. So
The only thing I'm taking with me is my magical wise, my sword and temporary health potion.
Okay.
After I gave it.
Well, Leva will cast safeguarding outside still because it lasts for 1 turn plus 1 turn a level, and it takes
an
1
hour.
turn to cast. Takes a long time.
Okay, so you'd
No,
probably
casting time is 5. It's not a 1 turn; it's 5. Still.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
Sorry.
All right, so how about this? Higgimus and Leva, you go position yourselves, and the idea is basically that you're running up. Higgimus is going to be standing in front of her to block anything coming towards her, and then she casts the fireball spell.
Is this where the cave is?
Sounds good.
Cave entrance is right here.
Yeah.
And you need to get around this this curve here.
Ah, yes. Right, let's run.
And the idea is that you can cast it as far as you can see, Leva, basically. So you need to position yourself in such a position that you can see as far as you want. If you want to go in a little bit further, you can do so. You can see creatures, and they might start moving
yes.
towards you.
Okay. I do it here, and I
Okay.
cast. I have just a second. Fireball. Yes, Leva memorize 2 fireballs,
I'm doing full defensive.
Okay.
and she can cast it. Let's see,
What is the area of effect of safeguarding?
15-foot radius.
Okay. Braxon, you want to be in the front next to Higgimus? Braxon?
I
Yeah,
think he's
sorry.
muted.
Sorry. Yeah, I realised I was muted.
Okay.
I think
Ooh, fun.
would it work here?
I mean, basically, you just send it up against the back wall, and as far as you can get it.
Okay. I'll do
Braxon's
that.
gonna hunker down
Okay.
and hope that some of his hair remains afterwards.
Why? You are safeguarded. You're perfectly safe. Yes.
His hair might not be.
He doesn't
I take it
quite
there
trust.
was no wild search on safeguarding.
There was not. What is the duration on it? It's 1 turn plus 1 round per level?
Plus 1 turn a level.
Plus 1 turn per level. Okay. Then it is lasting for 5 turns.
What's that? Almost an hour.
50 minutes, I mean.
Yeah. And then you cast your fireball, And that is being cast at level +4, but the max damage is still 10d6.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll 10d6.
What did you say? 10d6?
Yep, 10d6.
Just when you want your spell to be much bigger than normal.
Okay. So let's see. That is going to be...
It's like 3 1s, 3 6. It really is average.
Brax is hoping his clothes don't burn off. Oh my god, look at all those dice.
You just don't trust Eva, do you?
Braxton likes leather.
That's not the same as trusting.
He just forgives her when she burns his clothes off every so often.
So burning your clothes off is less important than making you older.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can Lafdul move a little? Just like go up to a rock or something and just peek round?
I see the fire slowly coming towards us. It's
Yes,
like the world's in slow motion.
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
Is there a roaring noise that's happening, Ald?
It's like a wash of flame just goes over you, isn't it? So it's like whoosh.
Oh, it's still going.
And the incineration of all the beetles in like harmony.
As they all
You
go,
know, though.
"Rah!" Squeak, squeak.
Ever might accidentally destroy the portal. All for nothing.
Highly doubt it.
It's getting closer.
Don't
Yep,
forget
that
it's
is-
going the other direction too.
Yep,
It's
that
not
is
going back
just...
to us.
it stops just in front of your face, Higgimus.
I think it's my ring that's doing that.
Alright, now I need to get rid of all these. Alright, so 34 damage before a saving throw. Let me go ahead and roll
You've
that.
only got less than half.
Are those all the big ones?
So it must go around the corners as well.
Oh yeah, it goes around the corners. It fills a volume. Alright, so the fire... Leva sends the fireball as far into the cave as she can, smashing it into the back wall, and a roaring inferno of flames. By the way, the rest of the party can move up as close as you wanted for the start of the combat.
If the once I see a cast a spell, I'm just going up close. Like, it's about here, I think.
That creature is dead. That group of creatures is dead. These ones are all getting incinerated that you can see. There is definitely a chittering sound as the flames wash over all of these things, killing them. Let's see.
Just thinking, if Ockar had like a permanent smithy here, he'd have this constant supply of beetles, so you can make some beetle armor.
Yes, but would it be good beetle armor? That's the question.
Well, we don't know.
Remember, their shells turn brittle when they die.
Yeah, but if they're preserved fast enough.
Is the
Yes, but look, did any shells survive this fireball?
They're
Oh,
all
he's saying off.
incinerated.
is the fire dying down now, Ald?
It is instantaneous, but you cannot move because we'll be doing normal combat initiative after
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Maybe you should have
so-
done like a. Never mind. I was going to say a silent fireball and never has vocalize.
Silent fireball.
Was I supposed to move up with you guys?
Yes, move up.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
I'll move up Ockar as well. So saves don't matter for these; they would die anyway. All the ones that you saw in front of them. That's the joy of 4 hit points.
Yeah. While you all prepare for battle, Lewa is choking up the bat guana that she just choked down.
I don't think you have to eat that.
No, you just throw it and it's ignited and it
Yeah.
explodes.
Maybe she thinks she does.
Or if
Mean.
Leva also eats bat guano every time she casts.
She keeps
Another-
eating all our spells. Ingredients.
Don't eat them.
Be careful next time I push the spider into your throat. You know, the one that still needs to be alive.
Is Sinrae like swearing off against Loth or something?
No spiders. Sinrae's just like, no spiders.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with spiders.
Let me go ahead and remove.
Well, at least
these
I rolled on first on the turn order, even if I'm not first.
All right, that's fine. Everyone can roll now.
Lafdul's carrying like bundles of sticks in his arms, so he either has to drop them or something.
Charge.
You can. I mean, once you get inside, you could lay them down and then grab them and throw them next time if you want.
Oh.
That's...
Only Sinrae can beat Braxon.
I don't even know if anything's even survived. I'm not even bothered by combat at this point.
Well, we are asked to roll the initiative.
All right.
I hear a
Anyone still need to roll, or has everyone rolled?
I am passing my turn or moving in, I guess. Because I don't even suspect combat, so...
It looks like
If-
everyone's in the turn order.
Yeah, I suppose I'll roll something for
Yeah.
initiative.
3.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, if you're just moving, 3.
Yeah, 3. I'd have my weapon. Well, no, I wouldn't. I've got a bundle of sticks in my arms.
It's still gonna be 3. All right.
All those 7s.
That is a lot
Lucky
of
7.
7s. So, before you can react as the flames die down, one of the larger beetle creatures comes around the corner and charges at you, Higgimus.
Stop that.
It is clearly singed.
I'm sure that smells wonderful.
Where's the in the morning? Oh, actually. Oh, should I say something that would really annoy Higgimus and
No.
potentially ruin our plans?
Maybe.
I just realised someone else forgot.
Then
He's gonna
yes, you
help
should say it.
again.
You should say it. What did I forget?
Higgimus's anti-magic aura might have ruined the safeguard.
Well, it doesn't matter that
Only
much
for
because it
Higgimus.
didn't reach him, so... But yes, thank you. It's fine, though. So, Higgimus, this creature runs in and snaps at you with its teeth and claws, and it does score 1 hit for 5 points of damage.
Ow.
Braxon, your turn.
Oh, well, Braxon was going to go charging off, but seeing as this thing's come up to
Charge this
Higgimus,
thing.
he's going to wallop it instead.
Okay.
Oh wait, isn't there a minimum distance for charging?
Yeah, but he doesn't...
He's not charging now. He was going to go, button 2, charge!
Also, you can't actually charge through a cave like this, like around corners. You have to have an open space. He was just using
Okay.
that as a euphemism for moving up,
Yeah,
looking for something to hit. That's a hit.
okay. Right, I need to roll my damage, don't I? Right, so...
You're using the axe, right?
Yeah, battle axe.
Okay.
That's 5.
Also position you right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I do need to move forward a step.
Okay. You bring the axe blade down on this singed creature. Sinrae, your turn.
Okay, Sinrae is going to cast sleep on
Can you see it?
No, actually. So no, she's not going to cast sleep.
Okay.
She's going to try to move forward.
You can move a little bit in cast, can you?
Yeah. I should be able to move forward and cast. Yeah, she's going to move to there, and she's going to cast sleep.
You do not have spellcraft, you said?
Nope.
Okay.
This is going to go badly, isn't it?
It just said it doesn't affect it.
Sleep can affect us.
Oh, it doesn't affect... It's in the...
Keep in mind that sleep cannot affect things of high hit dice, which clearly means that this is too powerful for that.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Interesting.
Sleep also wouldn't affect any of you at this point.
Yeah, we're above
Sleep is
level.
great
I
for
was-
taking care of sailors and stuff like that, and the smaller ones, but...
Yeah, because it was
unfortunately.
working on all the smaller ones, so... Okay.
Alright, Lafdul, your turn.
Is it possible to move a little bit free or behind Braxon?
It's
This-
getting pretty tight in here.
Lafdul's pretty small.
Yeah, but
He's
it's
carrying
pretty
sticks.
it's pretty tight in here.
You're
And
going to
yeah,
have
you
to
were
climb
I'm
over
not-
lava.
Basically, I just want to throw some sticks ahead of Braxon, that's all.
I mean, you
To
can...
the side?
Yeah, if you want to throw them beyond him, you can do so.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's basically it.
Alright, Solas.
Throw some sticks as well.
Solas is casting prayer.
Okay.
Or just
So
buffing for, like,
basically,
one.
every one of us gets +1 to attack and damage, and saving throws, and that beetle gets -1.
Would that count for Braxon because he's already attacked?
Yeah.
Not this turn for you.
Oh, so prayer only works if you're...
No, he'd
Yeah,
get
I
the
mean,
he'd get the effect,
He gets
but
the bonus, but doesn't
Oh,
get
yeah,
it
yeah.
for that attack.
Yeah.
alright.
No, I thought there was one spell that doesn't work if you've already started a fight.
That's bless.
Ah, right. Okay.
Ockar moves
you're
in,
melee.
but he can't get past. Higgimus, your turn.
Got a big pokey thing.
There's still people in the way.
Well, I kind of messed up, but I'm gonna call Paladin power of my sword.
Okay. Leva.
Hmm.
There's an evil.
What she was going to do. She was going to do nothing at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone get second attacks? I don't think that's okay.
I
No.
think
So-
I'll get my second attack in the next round.
All right. So initiative time.
Is there even any...
Yeah, it's 3-2.
I'd like to cast a fireball, but conditionally.
Uh,
Only if I...
well,
I
there
don't think we need
really
more
isn't a
fireballs.
conditional system here. Like either you cast it or you don't.
Yeah, okay.
Real quick, alt.
Yep.
I want to knock this thing back further into the cave. What's the initiative modifier for that?
Do you want to kick it, or are you trying to hit it with a sword to do that?
Which would I
Oh,
have
like cricket.
most for?
I mean, it's a beetle on the ground. Kicking would
You just
certainly be
overpower it.
easier.
I did say I was going to kick it before. Let's kick it.
Okay.
What's the initial for that?
6.
6?
You
So-
volley it across.
A natural attack.
I mean,
You
it doesn't-
realise if you get a slightly lower initiative than Braxon's going to chop your foot off.
Okay. Anyone still need to roll?
Yeah. I cannot get past them, can I? No, because they're obviously too big. Well, if I... No.
I mean, they
I
might
want
move
practice
if
to
you
move.
roll high enough. but-
Yeah. I'll roll for short sword, but yeah.
Do you want Braxon to move?
It's entirely up to you if you want the rest of us to participate.
Sinrae, your turn.
Sinrae is going to start rallying allies with her mandolin.
Okay.
Brave, brave company that broke us all. Please do not fall to this one beetle.
Ockar's grumbling about everyone being in his way. Higgimus, you're going to give a mighty kick.
Yep. As hard as I can.
Okay, this does not give you you do not get a strength bonus to your roll. You do get the prayer bonus, though.
And also
Okay,
rally.
So,
No, it's after 3 rounds.
prayer bonus plus my bless.
Yeah,
Does
you know,
that-
you'll get the
Aid.
the rally as well because as long as she's playing this, it'll go.
Okay.
The 7
Versus
rounds thing
I-
is if she's done it before, she doesn't have to continue playing.
Okay,
Yep.
so plus 3 altogether. My attack was 13.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. So you're just trying to kick it further into the cave.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't actually do any damage to it.
Yeah.
But let's see.
I wouldn't be doing any damage to it regardless because I
You
put off
kicking and
all
following it.
magical stuff.
And let's see. Okay. You kick it and it kind of spins through the air and hits the back wall, bounces off. It appears to be uninjured.
Can I move just a little bit so I can get out of the way so people
Yes.
can get in?
Yeah, you can. Leva?
Lever wants to cast a fireball, just in case there's some stragglers around.
Oh, well.
Okay.
This one will get Higgimus.
This one will also
And-
get Braxon.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they're both protected. Still,
And what is the safeguarding effect?
just a second.
As that Leva's turned into a Zamfir, she's getting fireball frenzy now. It's like fireball,
Wizard at anyone in the area of effect from damage caused by the rebounding of the wizard spells. This includes damage from a fireball cast in an area too small for its effect, a reflected lightning bolt, or any other offensive area spell that overlaps the safeguarding's area of effect. The protection is effective against spells of 7th level and lower.
So it's complete protection.
The protection does not apply to damage from spells rebounded by any form of magical spell, turning, or reflection.
Hang
Does
on.
not protect the wizard against damage from spells or
right.
attacks cast by enemies, etc.
Is it giving a saving throw bonus, a damage reduction, or complete protection? That's my question.
Saving throw none.
No.
Hang on.
The description says. Hold on a second. Let me find it.
Yeah, sorry. Leva, you said 7th level or lower, but didn't you get a +4 bonus to your fireball?
No,
How high
it's
is that thing?
that doesn't apply to the character level. It's spell level.
Ah, right. Okay, fair enough.
All right. Let me take a look.
I thought it was going to be some sort of super pumped up fireball.
By the way, it's level -4, so 5d6. You can go ahead and roll that.
I see safeguarding.
Okay, it's negated within the area of the safeguarding. Okay, that's good. All right, 14 damage.
4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so you cast your fireball in the same position again, and the flames wash in and stop just at the edge of this, where Higgimus and a bit beyond Braxon.
Kicked it.
There's kind of like a clear line for it, and the fireball washes over the creature. It is not killed by this. You do not hear. You do
Two
not hear
fireballs.
much from further into the cave.
Okay.
But is the creature happy?
Probably.
Would
I
you
mean,
be?
at least it's not freezing.
It's
They're
hard to
stay.
tell. You're not familiar with the emotional states of these wolf beetle hybrids.
It feels dissatisfied with its place in life.
Lafdul, your turn.
It probably feels hot.
I'm just gonna poke it with the pointy side of his sword.
Okay, you'll have to go up and do that. All right.
Yeah.
One thing that I will say is that the sticks that you threw in probably got incinerated.
Yeah. Okay.
What were those sticks supposed to do?
I was turning them into snakes.
Ah, right. You didn't want the wolf beaters to fetch them then?
No. What? I rolled initiative. How am I doing that? Roll 1d. Oh.
That's a miss.
Oh, you. Okay.
I know what armor class they have. Solas, your turn.
Solas will
Lafdul's
move up
initiative
a
game.
bit and cast web in here.
Because I wrote the initiative thing instead of attack.
Oh, I see. Right, got you.
So all back there filling up. Okay. So great sticky webs spring into existence back there. Braxon, your turn.
Where did the webs appear? Was it where this thing was, where Lafdul is? Oh, back
No.
there, right.
Yeah, back further in.
Okay, Braxon gives out a big laugh at the fireball, and then charges in to chop this thing.
All right.
I think I'll be
I
running
forgot
out of
plus-
power.
We got +1 from that spell of
Prayer.
Solas.
Yeah, you have the +1.
And
I
you have
got
+1
strength
from Sinrae as well. What is your Thaco?
That go for axe is 13.
That is a miss. Nope, that's a hit. That's
Oh.
just a hit.
Just okay.
Got him.
Do I get the +1 to the damage?
Yeah.
So +6 instead of +5. Woohoo! That was
All
a
right.
good hit.
You swing your axe over your head and give a great downward chop, cutting the beetle in half.
Woo.
Good job, Braxon.
Now, to advance further into the cave, you would
Yeah.
risk getting into the webbing.
Well, you can always burn the webbing.
Yeah. Braxton's going to go up to the webbing pieces and want to go further than that.
I'm
Now,
gonna go
where's the webbing get to?
grab my other equipment real quick.
Webbing
that's
probably
fine.
gets to about right here.
About there. All right, Braxton will come to here and say, "Can we set light to this?"
All right, no, that's in the webbing.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Lafdul's like, yep, alright, he's in the web.
We've
There?
caught a Braxon.
There.
There. Okay. Thank you. Braxton says, "Anyone got some fire?"
You got your
You do.
axe. I've got my dagger, I suppose.
All right. Braxton's going to press. Well, I don't think you can do this the same round. It's combat rounds.
No,
I
not
don't think
until
it's massacring.
the next round.
Yeah. Can Braxton press button 1 to get his flaming sword, set light to the web, and then press button 2 again, and not do anything else?
Do you want Lafdul to get
No,
his dagger
not
out?
until next round.
Right.
You can
Okay.
press the button to change your weapon if that's what you want to attack with in that round, but you can't then change it again at the end.
Yeah. All right. I guess Braxton will fight with flaming sword for the next round, and then fight with the battle axe for the round after that.
So you're gonna light the webbing on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. A whoosh of flames incinerates the webbing. You hear no sounds of beetles burning.
So
I
we
think
roll
we
for
overkilled them.
Yeah, might
We roll
be.
for initiative, or
Just
Nope.
walk in.
No, you can just walk in and take a look.
okay. Braxton's not going to just walk in.
Why not?
He's
You
going to go
walked into the
charging
web.
around all these caves, thinking they're in there still.
There are a lot of
Oh,
burnt beetle corpses here.
Sinrae has obviously stopped singing and is walking gingerly over the.
Yeah. Everywhere Braxton
Yeah.
goes, he comes in a combat position and goes, clear!
Nice job with the fireballs, guys.
It
How high
did
was
make
this
it a
ledge
lot
again?
easier.
How high was that ledge again?
That ledge is 3 or 4 feet.
All right, so we can see over it.
Cave filled up pretty nicely.
Quickly.
Terribly. Yes, quickly. That's the word.
Clear.
I thought you meant to be good with words.
All right, Braxton will
It
come
smells
back
bad
to
in
this
here.
portal, and he's gonna press button 2 and prepare to chop the next thing that comes out the portal.
Okay.
Common wasn't my first tongue, Lafdul.
Some people want to watch the entrance for when the floaty things come up, the jelly.
Yeah.
I'll go. I've been talking them to the most.
Okay. Ockar, could you go with them?
Yeah, Ockar will go with Sinrae.
Sinrae will pet the pooch in the meantime.
I will cast, let's say, 5 horizons to heal Higgimus.
5 saving throws.
Not saving throws, magic resistance checks.
Yeah, not that.
1 fails.
Well, I cast 1 more. I do get 9 of them.
Gotta remember which ones you used to.
Alright, the rest work.
Okay. So
Okay, you're back to full.
Thank you.
Alright, so your spells will expire before the jellies arrive. You do occasionally kill one of the smaller beetle creatures as they come out.
I don't get sick, do I?
That's actually a good point. Thank you.
Solas, could you check me, see if I'm sick?
I need you to give me a saving throw versus spell, please. I mean, not spell, poison.
Which one was that? Is that the
Oh,
first
because the big
Yeah,
one's
it's the first one.
'Poison?
The big one seemed to cause some kind of noise.
No, you seem fine. You seem okay.
one?
Braxton wants to see if he can beat Higgimus to chop these things in half.
Higgimus is going to act like he's trying, but he's not.
What you want to do is move from Chrono Trigger X Strike, and as soon as they come in, you combo together.
All right.
For people that play, they'll know that.
So after about 30 minutes, and you have been periodically killing some small ones and 1 or 2 of the medium-sized ones in the course, Sinrae and Ockar see the jellies approach. And
Jellies, how many are there?
there's
Braxton's-
quite a few.
Sorry. Braxton says to the finger wagglers, "Are there any weird spells you want to try on one of these things?"
You mean not the jellies?
No, not the jellies. These things that are coming out the portal. Because I think we're okay chopping them up. But if
Nah,
you've got any weird spells you'd like to experiment with.
No,
don't have
Don't
any
forget
weird
Take
spells.
we only have to rest longer tomorrow if we use up our spells on stuff like that.
Also, I don't
Okay.
have any weird spells, only normal spells.
Yes,
A weird spell.
that too.
I might do an
I have
augury
weird
before
spells.
the jellies do their thing.
Okay. Before they arrive or as they're arriving?
Basically, before they're planning on doing something, I just tell them just premonition.
Okay.
Oh, so after they arrive, and then you can see whether their actions are going to be successful.
No. When they do something to the portal, that was all. To see if there's any backlash that they didn't tell us about.
All right. So you cast the augury, and the augury indicates that the vigilance will lead to victory.
Your augury tells you that we'll be getting experience points in 6 minutes.
So, at least 24
they're
of the
tiny.
creatures come in, and they silently take up a position around the portal.
Do they want us to back off?
Probably.
They want you to stay close and protect them.
Right.
Oh. Alright.
Okay.
Lafdul's going to take a position with a
Hence
short
the
sword, I guess.
vigilance.
Well,
I need to move you, Leva. You can reposition afterwards.
And then
No problem.
Braxon remains ready to chop anything.
it's like, wow, lever just moved somehow. Is that your wild magic?
That's
Do
God's
Ockar
moving
and,
lever, and
Sinrae come inside.
So there's a dozen of the whitish ones,
got a feeling you
and
should-
there's a dozen of the yellow ones.
The creatures that Braxon doesn't know the name of.
Correct. The white ones take a position with their little spears, although you're not sure how effective they would be in a fight.
They might not be normal spears. They might be magic ones or something.
Oh, these little spears could be sticks to snakes. That would be hilarious.
Holy cow, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's a dozen.
Yeah,
of them.
we got our own little following.
Could Lafdul change the spear shaft to
Yeah.
snake?
Yep.
So basically, Lafdul, you can basically disarm enemies with that spell.
Are
Yeah, it's
you
great for
giving
fighting
Laugh
other
an
ships.
idea?
You got to be within the area of effect, though.
And the yellow creatures begin to wiggle their tentacles about. I'll zoom in so that viewers can see what we're looking at. Actually,
They're going to be wiggled.
here we go. So that's what they look like.
Seen those someplace before. I just can't place it.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what they're called, but Braxton doesn't.
I'll tell you
So I'm not
afterwards.
telling you.
So
No.
and viewers can read that too.
Yeah,
So
adorable
they
little
begin
creatures.
to wiggle their tentacles about. One of the yellow ones appears to be the one that spoke with you, that has the small staff or wand, and it seems like they're wiggling their tentacles in unison. You're also hearing whistling sounds and other sounds
like
coming
a
from
laugh.
their orifices. And they're kind
Does this
of
remind me
floating
of...
up and down in unison. Let me finish first. While the white ones just seem to be, their eye stalks are darting here and there and watching carefully. Yes, Lafdul.
No, I was thinking of reminding me of... oh, what's that spell? That corruptive priest spell, that unearthly choir or something like that? You have multiple priests and they do that sound attack.
Do you want to roll a spellcraft?
Yeah.
Solas is also interested what they are doing, so I will also roll spellcraft if he can figure out something.
All right.
This reminds me of that spell that in particular there.
You don't think it's unearthly choir, Lafdul, but you don't know what they're doing. Solas, they are definitely casting a spell, but it is not a spell that you seem familiar with. But that could just be because of their strange nature.
Well, I'm studying what they are doing.
Okay. You see that the portal in front of you begins to shimmer brightly, and we'll have to find out exactly what happens in the next session.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Yes.
Wasn't there someone who once said we never do cliffhangers if possible?
I never do fight cliffhangers, if possible. I do not like stopping in the middle of a fight. I think is generally a bad idea.
Yeah, you tend to forget what happened during the fight.
Right. And I'm not a fan of that. All right, so experience points wise, let me calculate it out. I will tell you guys and the viewers out there, these are indeed flumps.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite, the flumps.
Adorable little creatures.
And to actually be able to use them in an adventure.
I like the saying that name, Flumps.
Yes.
Also,
Are
you
they
got the
everyone's favorites?
Yes, they are everyone's favorites, and if you disagree, Higgimus may meet a bad end.
I like flumps.
No,
That
nothing.
seems forced, Braxon.
No. When he described them, I went yay because I knew they were flumps. Love
They
flumps.
was
are
like-
actually semi-canonical on this world, so...
Semi-canonical.
Well, I mean, a TSR employee is the one who said in an unofficial capacity that they live here, but it's an unofficial capacity. He didn't put it in
On
a
what?
product.
On what? Was this on a forum post or
I
something?
believe so.
I need
Yeah,
to know
I remember
this.
these things. Don't their glow mean like their emotions?
I don't believe so.
I thought it was just their gender or intelligence. Or caste.
And I don't know if they in the second edition, but in later editions they do glow like red for anger and such.
That's probably what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I don't believe they do in second edition.
Well, they
Also in
should.
later editions they are basically telepaths. Don't really speak.
They should glow. They should glow their emotions. Also, you got the Gummy Bears theme song stuck in my head.
You're welcome. Let's see. So that is going to be that.
So how much XP did we lose from telling them how to go into stone?
Why would you lose? You defeated it.
Yeah, but didn't we trivialize it?
It doesn't matter. You defeated it, and in a inventive and lucky way. There's nothing wrong with that. You overcame a problem.
I managed to shoot it once.
Did you ever recover that arrow?
No, I didn't recover any of my arrows. Damn it.
Well,
We forgot to do that because of the ion stones.
You can roll this.
no
I don't
presents
mind.
Higgimus gave
You
that's all.
spent an hour looking around for stuff. You can go ahead and roll for that.
+3 arrow, wasn't it?
That was +1.
Wow.
Arrow 2 hit and damage bonuses from magical ammunition and weapons are cumulative. So a +1 bow with a +1 arrow gives you +2 to hit, +2 to damage. Nice.
I didn't get any of them back.
All right, let's see. That is going to be
Yay!
Braxon, 3,080 experience points.
3080.
Higgimus, 3,000. Lafdul, 3,500.
Woohoo.
Leva, 3,000. Actually, sorry, Leva, that is 3,300. Solas, 3,000. And Sinrae, 3,200.
I'm gonna have to buy more +1
I
arrows.
was thinking, would my priest get anything for defeating something in a mischievous way?
It wasn't really mischievous, but your character gained an extra 500 experience points for the successful use of the Wand of Wonder in a way that completely trivialized and overcame a problem. and in a way that did it before a really nasty attack came your way.
Oh, you gonna tell us?
No, because I might use one of these things again. They are standard Spelljammer wild space creatures.
In which case, we're going to come with the most bizarre, crazy things possible.
I was really
that super huge bombard.
I was really hoping answering a riddle with a riddle would throw it, but
No, you gotta come up with an equally insane response. Of course, the question then becomes, what is an equally insane response?
bubblegum. Just be like, bubblegum. I don't think they have bubblegum.
That would be too simple. That would be too simple.
So
I think it's a job for Braxon.
anyone getting enough experience to go up a level?
Not quite.
Okay.
Not for
Far
quite a while.
away.
All right.
Probably not for another adventure.
Well, I mean, you still got 3,000 experience points, so that's always...
Yeah, no, it's good.
Equally insane answer for the who ate the cow would be... Cow ate the cow with good red wine and fava beans.
Part of it is also a, like, if I read one of these insane things and someone came up with a completely ridiculous non sequitur right away, they just blurted out something, and especially if it made me laugh, that would definitely qualify as an equally insane response.
Okay.
Noted.
I'll give you that much. So,
Definitely.
anyway, thank you guys for playing. Thanks everyone out there for watching. We will be back next week, and we'll see what exactly goes on with these jellies trying to get rid of this portal. See you next time, everyone.
Thanks for
I
the
think
game.
they're going to suck us off to Ravenloft.
There's no mist here.
Yet.